everybody, and welcome to the 1860 Club, and it's indeed a big pleasure to have one of the legends of our club, Peter Cawthan, with us tonight.
Thank you, Lee. Good getting here. We've been trying for so long, but we got there in the end.
Yeah. Before we start talking about cricket and that, you got the New York Yankees attire on, mate. They haven't won anything of late.
Since 2009. No, why I'm wearing this is in memory of Sean Harrison, who was a very good friend of mine, and the big H's two loves in life was Preston Cricket Club and the New York Yankees. So I had a thought about it, and I thought I'll wear my shirt and hat on behalf of H, and yeah, a great guy, good president, and yeah, I miss him, and all the best, H. I'm thinking of you, mate.
Huge loss to the club.
Yeah, very.
Yeah. Pete, your story goes back a hell of a long time, back as a 12-year-old when you came down to the Hatch.
Yep, correct.
In about 1969-70 or 70-71. We haven't got records to confirm that because H
might be too old.
But you came down to the Hatch from St Mark's, one of the local cricket clubs.
Yep.
And from Hatch, you decided to stay with the club at under 16 level.
Yep.
And you played a premiership in your first year, and there were some mighty players in that team.
Very good players, yeah. Peter Johnson, Stuart Walsh, Trevor Staples, Brian Duggan, a skinny Brian Duggan back then, Gary Robb, Trevor Greenwood. They're about the ones I can think of. But yeah, I think we played Reservoir back then in the under 16s. It was Saturday, Sunday, Saturday. So we played at Moore Park, the bottom ground. And I think we got Reservoir out for 186, and then we batted for 2 days.
Wow.
I think we made 6 for 488, I think.
Fair effort.
Yeah. I got 30 of them, but yeah. No, Stewie Walsh, I think he got 120. I think Peter Johnson got 160 something.
Wow.
Stupid.
Yeah.
But yeah, batted the next 2 days, and yeah, no, they were all very good friends.
Yeah. Good players, and many of them went on to play excellent cricket for Preston.
Oh, yeah, very good. Yeah.
71-72, you actually played your first seniors game. The records show that it was either in the 4th or the 5th from memory.
The 5th, at the back of Mont Park.
Yeah, under Dion Johnson.
Dion Johnson, yeah, great man.
Yeah. So after your 2 years in the under 16s, you came into the seniors in 73-74, and for everyone to know, he stayed with the club then for the next 30 years continuously to 2003-2004. And just before, Pete was saying he loved training, and in that time he reckons he missed no more than 10 practice games.
Yeah. I was always
10 practices, not practice games.
Yeah. I was always a believer because I worked around the corner from the ground, and I was always a believer that, you know, why miss training when every Tuesday, Thursday night, get there early, and yeah, I love training. It was good fun. Yeah.
You came into the club as a little fella, skinny little fella with a lot of blonde hair, medium pacer, and a handy bat. And that was your craft over the next 30 years, which just got better and better over the years.
Yeah, it was. Back then you always had to. I always thought if you were going to be any good, you had to bat and bowl and field, obviously. So they were, you practice on everything, all three skills. So the better you are at all three, the better you got a chance of going higher. So that's the way I always thought about it.
Yeah. From memory, you were a very hard trainer as well.
Yeah, I loved it. Yeah, I didn't mind training. It was good.
You joined the 4th to start with under Jimmy Lawrence.
Yeah.
And how successful were you the first year?
First year, Flapper was captain. No, we didn't win. Then the following year I had another year in the 4th, and we won the premiership, and I forget who we played. I think we played over in Cawthan somewhere, but we won, and everyone went back to Jimmy Lawrence's house, and I think it was Eltham or something like that. I always remember because Jimmy had a few too many beers and put his arm on the barbecue and fried his arm along with our chops and hamburgers. But it was a good night, a party long into the night. The first bar the under 16 premiership was the first premiership, second premiership for Preston. So it was good memories of old Jimmy. He's a good man, Jimmy Lawrence.
Yes, he was a captain for a long time at the 4th, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Now, you toiled away in the thirds and fourths and worked your way up into the twos and eventually got a game in the ones about 77 or thereabouts.
I always remember the first game in the seconds, Ian Murray was captain of the seconds, and a good mate of mine was Kenny Gostray, who lived in Keon Park, and I lived in Reservoir. So Ian Murray said to us, "Kenny, I'll pick you up at 10:30. Carpy, I'll pick you up at 11:15. We've got a team meeting." So Kenny rang me and said, "How come so early?" I said, "I don't know. I suppose you've got to be there by 12. He said, "It's 11:15. So anyway, the knackers arrives at my place with Kenny in the back. So off we go, and we drive past Preston Creek ground, and we just kept going. And Kenny looked at me. I looked at Kenny. And I went, "What? The ground's back there." Well, the team meeting, it was at the Gowville Hotel, and Kenny and I were only 17, I think. And so Ian says, "Well, you've got to come in. It's a team meeting." So in we go, and within 5 minutes we've got a beer in front of us. And I didn't really want to have it, and neither did Kenny, but to go along we had one beer, and I think the meeting lasted about half an hour, 3/4 hour. We only had the one beer, and then went and played our first game in the seconds. It was a good initiation.
Yeah. And your first game in the firsts?
First game of the first was, I think I was either 18 or 19, was at Dandenong.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a pretty wet wicket. We didn't start till, I think it was an hour and a quarter on, and we didn't have a good innings. I think we only made sort of like 60 or 70, and they passed us pretty easy. But it was a good initiation, very wet, and it wasn't good to bat on. I think I only got one or two, I think. Wasn't hanging around long.
You mentioned something before, your nickname Carpy.
Yeah.
And I always have known you as Carpy, but where does that come from?
My mum, we had a house in Killua Road, which is off Gilbert Road, down near West Preston's ground, and we were the very bottom house in the bottom of the street, and every time the Mary Creek flooded, it comes straight across, from the creek straight across our house. So one morning we woke up and there was a heap of carp on the front doorstep, and Johnny Hodges had to come around and pick me up for baseball training, and that's where I got the nickname. He called me Carp, so it's stuck ever since. I think I was 15 or something when I, 14, 15, met Johnny Hodges, and he called me Carp ever since till he passed away recently.
Yeah.
A good man.
He was, John, wasn't he?
Ripper.
Tremendous talent.
Great cricketer, great baseballer.
Yeah.
And I remember in, I think we were about 15, it was the tech schools had a sporting event at the Preston Creek ground.
Mm-hmm.
Johnny Hodges was in the 100 metres, 200 metres, 400 metres, 800 metres, representing Preston Tech. He won the lot. Won every race.
Yeah.
And no shoes, in bare feet.
Gee.
He was excelling at everything. Yeah. He was just a superstar, Johnny, and just a ripper bloke too.
Yeah, yeah. And of course went to the US with baseball, to the Mets for a period.
Yeah, no, a great talent. Yeah, very, very good man, Johnny.
Yeah. It was a shame that he decided to choose baseball because cricketer he could have been anything.
Oh, yeah. And I remember, Johnny, we all played for the combined tech schools, and the first year I tried out, I had to face a guy named Dredge, who played with Essendon.
Oh, yeah.
He was on one end. Alan Stoneham from Footscray was bowling the other end. Mm-hmm. And they were pretty sharp. So I saw off Stoneham, and then Johnny Hodges comes on and tries to knock me head off. I'm a mate of his, and consequently I didn't make it the first year. I made it the second year, but yeah, those three is pretty hard to make runs against.
Yeah. Now, we worked out that you've probably played 400 games or thereabouts over 30 years, plus finals, plus under 16s.
Yeah.
It's just phenomenal, really. You played 165 between 1989 and when you retired in 2003, 2004, and most of that would have been in the twos, where you were captain a couple of times.
Yep.
Played in 5 premierships, some great teams.
I remember the first one we was at Preston. I'm pretty sure we played Brunswick, and back then we used to have a spa in the rooms. In the change room. So
I remember it.
I think after we won it, we all jumped in the spa, and I think we were in there for an hour, and I think Dick Norris come along and said, you better go in and say hello to the opposition. So we all got changed, went back in there, we saw them off, they left, and then we went back in the spa and celebrated till about 1 in the morning, I think. But that was good times, really good times.
Yeah.
A great side, and really good fun. But yeah, we used to get the spa fired up when we won, and Dick would, come on you blokes, get out of there. So and then I think after about a couple of hours, Dick had just pulled the plug out on us, and so we had to get out. But no, that was all good times and good fun back then.
Yeah, the 5 premierships all would have had their own story, but which was the one that you really cherished?
Look, they're all great. The one I remember, I think we played Q at Q in the grand final. It was Saturday, Sunday. We lost the toss. It was a little bit wet, and I think we made, 70, 78 might have pulled us up. They were 2 for 51 overnight on a Saturday night, and we could hear, when after the end of play we went back in the rooms, and Q's rooms are right next door, obviously. They had ghetto blasters going. They're all singing, and I can't wait till tomorrow. Well, when we got back on a Sunday morning, once they took the covers off, there was so many dents in the wicket. So we thought, we're 251, they still need another 30 odd.
Yeah.
And we had Jason Fairbrother bowling from one end, left arm, and he was just pitching into the divots, and they were just going right angles. Matty Hyde was the wicketkeeper, and we had another guy, Shane Baker, bowled from the other end. They bowled unchanged, and we rolled them for 68 or something.
Extraordinary.
Unbelievable. I think Fairbrother he took 9 for 38 or something like that, and Shane Baker took 1 and bowled unchanged.
Gee whiz.
And I think Matty Hyde got something like 5 catches, 2 stumpings. They were just trying to run down and snick at them. So then we had a ghetto blast in the room. So then we put it on the Sunday afternoon, and they didn't like that. But anyway, we stayed for an hour, and then we went back to Preston.
Into the spa?
No, I don't think we were allowed. But that was a great one. The other one, some of the sides, I think the first or second one, Albert Ovengrosso, Dale Carpenter, Adam Devlin, it just like they were like first players. Our side, I think the first or second year we had both the Harvey brothers, myself, Phil Jobling. Like a lot of people said, our second side would have beaten half the first sides back then. They could all bowl, and they were all first 11 players. All batting were all or most of them went on to play first. But a lot of people said the side we had then would have beaten half the first 11s. It was a very good side.
Yeah. Hard and tough.
Yeah, they were good. Yeah.
Never beaten.
I think we won 3 in a row. I think, and I think in 3 years, I think we lost 9 games.
Gee whiz.
That's home and away and finals. I think we lost 9 games in 3 years.
Phenomenal. Yeah.
So you got 13 games, is 39 plus. It would have been 50, 52 games. I think we lost 8 or 9.
Gee whiz.
It was super side.
Yep. Now you won the batting average a couple of times and the bowling average a couple of times.
Yeah, in the seconds. Yeah. I used to love the not outs. That's probably why I won it a couple of times.
What about the bowling? Because you weren't fast,
no.
But you were bowled on the spot and just did a little bit. What was your secret?
I think Brian Duggett calling when I was bowling, they were like mother-in-laws. They were just nagging length, just nagging. And the year Jason took the 9 for, that was the second time I won the bowling average. So these guys bowled a lot more overs than me. So a couple of times when I was lucky enough to win it, I only just fell in to bowl enough overs. So that went in my favour. Otherwise, these guys were far better than me. But
doesn't say that on the honour board, but
no, it doesn't.
But some of the guys your same age, I'm thinking of Chip, for example. Both of you, when you first came to the club, were you couldn't really see a massive improvement occurring in a short period of time, but you did. You must have worked very closely together.
We're all good mates, Dale Carpenter, myself, Phil Jobling, Nort. There's probably the 4 of us that were Wayne McLaughlin, he was around about the same age, a year older than us, but Trevor Staples. We're all good mates. We all went out on a Saturday night together. So, you know, when it come Tuesday night to train, we were all good fun.
Yeah.
You know, and everyone fed off everyone to really get better. And when you got good mates like that, you know, it's pretty easy turning up on a Saturday because you know they've got your back, and we love playing with each other. It was great.
Yeah.